Hello, you guys. I'm on my phone, so I can't even do the intro stuff right. But how are you guys? Sure. Hello. Hey, allegedly. Hello, Tia and LFT. I'm waiting on Incognito Gypsy, but I figured I didn't have pushed this back so many times. I know she's coming. Oh my God. There's a little lizard. I don't want my dog to kill it. Hold on. Come here, Rambo. Come here, boy. Go in your cage for a minute, okay? Okay. Oh my gosh, you guys. Holy moly. I wonder if I can show y'all. Let's see. Camera. Okay. Let's see. See? Hello, guy. Anyways, how are you guys? Come on, dude. Get out of the way before this dog gets you. Look at him. He's so cute. Hello. Hey, go. Run. Hide. He's missing the end of his tail. Their tails break off like as a defense mechanism. Go. Run. I don't want my dog to get him, but hey, crazy mama. Hey, Woofy. I know. Hey, Andrea. Yes, this one's alive. It's the same exact place. Hey, Muffin Top. Brody Gal. Last night, me and Woofy were on the phone, and I found one in the same exact place, but he was no longer living, and I had to remove him from the house. I don't remove him. I love him. Like, we have shake. The shingles are shake. So they come, like, critters come here easily, but I kind of like it. So just, yeah. Hey, Nana Banana. Hey, Bieber. So I'm waiting on Incognito Gypsy. She knew when we were starting. I don't know where she's at. We were just going to talk about, just chat about the community, about some of the craziness. You know, it can be super disheartening, like as a YouTuber, to see some of the things that go on. And not only the nastiness, but also you see, like, I don't know, the good people, like the people that, like, for instance, Leave It to Bieber. Excellent channel. I love you and I miss you. In this chat right now, Decipher Podcast. These are channels that care so much, and I just feel like they should be celebrated so much more. Yet we're always looking at the idiots, like the people down protesting, and you know what I mean. And it just gets super disheartening. Hey, Without Borders. So we're going to talk about that. I also wanted to talk about, I've seen a lot of talk about LGBTQ stuff, which hey, Lady Butterfly, having been through what I went through in this community, and I just find it really interesting. I'm sorry, but I'm not going to take you serious when you have this whole heart-to-heart about it. Whenever you've stood behind people telling me that there's no way that I belong in the LGBT community, they can tell by looking at me. They have gaydar and some of the sick things that they stood behind. And yeah, I'm talking about Grandpa and Red Lungs, you know? And seriously, I cannot. I love you too. It's been a struggle to get back. I'm not even going to lie. What is going on? I haven't heard from you for a while. How is everything? Leave It to Bieber has been through it. Oh my God. I won't put your business out here, but I know you've been going through it. So you guys definitely say a prayer for it. Oh, for fuck's sake, I've heard it all. Oh yeah. They have gaydar. And I don't know. That's some of the shit Heather and Miranda said. And here, come on, buddy. You can get out now. And Crafton and Kim stood right behind it. That was all absolutely okay now then, but oh, heaven forbid. That'd be like me saying, no, Kim, you're not in the LGBTQ community because you're dating a man. Come on now. Don't be fucking ignorant. Hey, Lynn. What are we, 12? I know. It's ridiculous. I think if anybody remembers how everything went down, I never really wanted my personal business out there to begin with. So, I don't know. I just see these people, they get so high and mighty and righteous and gonna preach to everybody else about what they're doing wrong. And it's like, dude, you're one of the worst. You are one of the worst. Seriously. Hey, Angie. I apologize if this. I think their gaydar needs a tune. Their gaydar needs a tune. I'm sorry. That comment caught my eye as I was reading that. Yeah, just a little bit, maybe. Oh, here's Jen. And then I'm going to read your comment allegedly. Hello, Jen.
Hey, how's it going?
Pretty good. How are you?
I'm doing great today. Sorry, I had a little connectivity issue for a minute, so I'm sitting here watching my screen spin. Sorry being tardy, guys.
That's okay. Allegedly, we were just talking about, I had actually mentioned that I mentioned it to you briefly before we came on, but I saw that, Crafton and Kim were doing live, and I almost left a comment, and then she started talking about Heather, so I just had to turn it off because it's so much bullshit. Because she literally says, a few months ago, Heather was called a Jeffrey Epstein for simply being a lesbian. That's a lie. No, I didn't call her an Epstein, and no one said anything about her being gay. Stop running with that narrative. Wow, they stood behind their friends saying that they have gaydar, and I couldn't possibly be in the LGBT community and all kinds of other fucking hateful shit. So I was just talking about that for a minute, but let me read this though. I apologize if this offends some folks. I have had lots of friends I knew were gay, and also a bunch I didn't know were. It's not some guessing game, and people shouldn't be sticking their noses places. Thank you. Exactly. What do you mean gaydar? And just the whole, it's just stupid. Oh, you did Without Borders? I'll have to check it out. You there, Jen?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
I am right here, and I agree. I think that, people have channels for a reason. They're creators for a reason, and it's fine to go on and say your opinion, but so many people now in this community use their channel like a Facebook. It's like their wall, their community page is only for bashing or going back and forth about issues, and all their lives are saying, and I'm just like, oh, that's not what this platform was meant to be. It wasn't meant to be like your Facebook wall.
Yeah.
So that's one of the issues I have. It's just people, all the
Well, the
time.
whole reason I wanted to go live here about this and not my true crime channel is because how can you disrespect the cases that you cover like that? Like, I get it if your channel is a mix of things and you do all kinds of stuff and just a little, like you touch on some cases. But like my channel is just dedicated strictly like a news. It's basically like where you can get news and my opinion some and like but the news. So I can see if your channel's like that, but sometimes it feels disrespectful, like the way that they use their platforms and then they go on, you know what I mean, to do the next case.
Absolutely. Because that's just how, some people roll. I also feel though, when it happens like that, that maybe, I don't know. I mean, and I'm not speaking on anyone. I'm just saying in general, maybe they're not into the case as much as we think. Maybe it's just another part of this is just going to be another thing on my channel that will bring me views and possibly money. I don't know. But yeah, I would have a hard time with that as well.
Yeah. There was one comment I wanted to read. Oh, I got to tell you this, Jen. I hadn't told you this, but and Crafton and Kim, look, I have no personal issue with them. All of our issues came from everything with Heather. I don't want issues with anybody. That's just not how I roll, and I tend not to address things till it's at a point where I can't. But Crafton and Kim, they still to this day have I mean, it's completely defamation. Their website, they have post up there and a video and post underneath saying that, I've been in trouble for a hate crime and I've been in trouble for drinking, like being intoxicated driving, and all just lies, complete lies.
I'm sorry.
And I don't know. It's really frustrating, but it feels like they hate me, right? How could you just like slander somebody? You don't know me at all, and you know that shit is not true. Come on, it's easy to get somebody's record. If I like, that's not true. But they have so much hate towards me. But the other night it was pretty funny. They went live on for like a Halloween dress up thing, and Crafton was wearing one of my tie-dye shirts that I made.
Funny. Well, good.
And Woofy went in there and was like, "Hey, nice shirt." And you should have seen Kim's face. Crafton was like, looked down at his shirt, and they looked at each other, and she said, "I know." And I was like, "Uh-huh. That must be your favorite shirt. You didn't even realize you were putting it on for YouTube."
Well, it's like, I think, one of my biggest issues with community in general is, of course, there's going to be cliques and that kind of thing. But the problem is people will jump on a team. And mostly, the bigger creators, they're going to team up with someone at some point because I've said it a long time ago. It's an information exchange. You both have details that the other won't and can use against other people or use, whatever way you want to. But eventually they're going to fall out too because they don't really like each other. So when you see two people come together, two of these creators, and the creator's kind of really a lone wolf, they'll team up with someone for a while, but it's going to happen over and over and over. And it's, again, I think there's a lot of unhealed people running around trying to make sense of things that are not there and don't make sense.
Yep, and I completely agree. And it's funny though, they buddy up to like exchange information, but then people turn on each other so fast. Next thing you know, you become best friends and you're divulging all this information. Then you've got people showing all their messages. It just gets so nasty, and it's like, I don't know. It gets nasty.
They're never best friends though. Again, it's a conditional relationship.
Yep, you're exactly right.
Gets a little bit pissed off, or somebody on their team don't like somebody on their it all will come out in the wash. It's the same old.
Bieber, didn't you know I have been in trouble for a hate crime? You should see it. It goes in detail. It says I was involved in a driving incident where I was intoxicated, but it was a hate crime driving incident. It's the dumbest shit. I honestly can't believe it. Hey, Sherry, I'm glad you found us.
Well, haven't you been pretty open and honest about your past for them? Haven't you kind of put it out there?
Well, that's what really bothers me the most. Come on, Rambo. Let's go, buddy. I have tried ever since, okay, I'll be honest, I wasn't sure how I would go about being, if I was going to even talk about my past when I first started my channel. Then when, all that with Natasha and Lana and Melissa and everything happened, I just figured, okay, well, I'm just I forget, something was said. And I was like, I'm just going to put it all out there. If it helps somebody else, and I felt the same way with my Facebook. When I got clean, I was like, should I hide all the stupid ass posts where I look a mess and I've made a fool of myself? And I didn't hide everything. It's all public, because if it will help someone, then I'm okay with that. Don't get me wrong. Kim and Crafton and Heather I don't know which one. It was either Kim and Crafton or Heather. One of them used those photos against me now, which is fine. But yeah, I've been completely open. I have been in trouble, not for anything serious. I got in trouble for stealing beer twice, just little petty things like that. Never had any drug charges, never had any felonies. I haven't been in major trouble, but I've had a really hard life as far as fighting my addiction and my demons and stuff. And not all of that is pretty. And if I have a series where, I try to be as open as I can. I've hurt some of the most precious people in my life, and that's so hard to admit and even talk about. And I've went down this path of deciding to be super vulnerable and open. And then then when all this happened, to have it turned around and smacked in my face. They even said she tries to hide it, but she has a horrible past. When have they? I don't know. It's frustrating, Jen.
Yeah, I can see how that would be frustrating, and I'm sorry that has happened to you. The beautiful thing, what I really love about you though, Allie, is the first time I really came over and listened to you, especially any of your, what I'll call recovery or addiction series. You are so open and honest, and you lay it out to people here's how it works. And recovery, especially that first little bit, sucks. It is not easy. It's this and it's that. You're so honest about where you've come from, I feel. And that's what I love about, being able to talk to you, because I just feel like you help so many people by your honesty. If more people said, look, here's where I came from, then it would be a lot easier.
Yeah, it wasn't a pretty journey. None of it was. And yeah, the photos of me, I looked awful. But, to me, it's like that was a long time ago. How are you going to use that against somebody now? Judge me for how I behave and what like judge people for who they are now. Because a lot of people that are the best people in the world, they are that way because they've had, really traumatic or bad past. And I don't know.
Well, you're right. I mean, we've come from certain places that we not only don't want to ever go back, we don't want to see anyone there or anyone heading that direction. My goal is to help people here when I'm on this platform with my channel and helping with other channels. And honestly, like, some people don't want to let me go in that direction. Well, that's fine. They can sit and spin their wheels. They can put whatever energy they want into it. I will not be held back. I'm going to go and do what I need to do. If I feel like I need to acknowledge something, I will. But for the most part, I just don't. I'm going to do my thing. And
Yeah.
if it gets to me enough, then I'm going to say something. But for the most part, I'm going to do me. I'm not going to let anyone deter me any longer from putting out positive content that is hopefully going to help bring a bunch of people together to heal. And that's the problem. There's all these unhealed people out here taking every bit of trauma they have out on everyone around.
Oh, yes. You've stuck in my mind about that with a few people. I actually don't remember who, but I just said the other day to someone, Gypsy says that's when somebody's unhealed. And if you think about it, when someone is so full of hate, that's what it is. And until they're just not going to change,
full of pain. And that
Oh,
turns
thank you, allegedly.
anger and rage at some point. That's what it turns into.
Let me say real quick, cotton candy, I so appreciate that. Number one, that's so sweet of you to even do. And number two, to I understand, because that was the whole thing with Heather and Miranda. And number one, the way it was spun. I'll never forget the second day when I woke up and I saw they were going live, Kim and Crafton, and they had like a banner that was like, if you need LGBTQ resources. And I was like, oh my God, they turned it into what it was not. But as soon as that happened, I mean, things spun out of control. But I knew the reason that they did that was to get people by the heart, to get their emotions. It's already a subject with a lot of emotions. And then, some of the accusations. So I see how that happened. And I so appreciate that and understand. Yeah, I know, Angie. I'm sorry. It's been a long road. Some people are too judgy, even bringing things for decades in past. In my opinion, they cannot forgive themselves, therefore they cannot forgive. Huh.
100%. I agree with that. Not only that, when you're focusing on all the crap someone else is doing, you're not looking in the mirror at all. You're not taking responsibility or accountability for what you've done. You're just you, this, you did this, you did that. I'm sorry. I see a bunch of hurt people doing the exact same things to each other and getting mad at each other about it in the process. I'm sorry. At some point, you're all in the same pig pen slinging the same mud.
Hey, Danny B. I got a question for you, Jen. So this would like tie right into this, but I remember like a long time ago before I started YouTube, I was a big YouTube watcher, and there wasn't really as many live like communities, but it was more like pre-recorded videos and stuff, but people still had their little communities. And I remember like a big YouTuber coming out and saying like, I'm telling you, almost every other YouTube creator I've met is completely narcissistic. And there's a reason that people have ended up doing this and being in front of the camera, wanting the attention on them, that kind of thing. Now, like, I think everyone might have traits of narcissism, and I can't find it. Like, if I look at myself honestly, I'm just too empathetic to even think that I could ever be narcissistic. But I do wonder, like, what the percentage rate is, because I see a lot of it. And I don't know, maybe it's not really narcissism. I'm not a doctor. I don't know. And that word gets overused, but I feel like we see a lot of it.
Absolutely. There's definitely a lot of narcissism out here. You can really tell because it'll always come back to me, me, me. Woe is me. They'll start out bitching on a stream, and by the end, it's like, oh, this is going on and that's going on. Sorry I did this, but could you please donate? Like, I'm just like, no, just stop, stop, stop.
Yeah, or when you hear creators talk about how great they are,
Oh,
it's like,
God, please don't even get me started. I can't.
please do not come and sit here and say, I am the best. I am so good at what I do. I'm the smartest. I know more than anybody. My research, my interview skills are the best. I can't stand that. I can't stand to hear that. It's like, you know what? How about compliment somebody else? Compliment somebody else. To give someone else a compliment. That's how I feel. How the hell are you going to get on there so proudly and if it's just one time, okay, but like when people cannot compliment other people and it's always about them. Oh.
Absolutely. Agreed. There are a lot of people that can't focus on another person long enough. You know, an interview can be about someone, but you'll see, like what you're talking about, narcissist traits, and people come in and they'll turn the whole story about, you know, hey, this is my story and what happened to me in the middle of someone else telling their story.
Yeah. And dude, I can't believe you said that because I was just thinking about this the other day and talking to someone about this. Like, people always think it's their time. Like, sometimes it's not. It's easy to relate stuff back to your own life, right? It gives us like a way to see things more clear. But then again, it's also kind of rude to always make everything to always like bring it all back to you, you know? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I do. And I think, you know, as creators, we just have to decide, are we going to entertain? Are we going to allow what's going on in our personal life? Are we going to let that rule our platform, our chat, get our chat involved and riled up? And a lot of people need that. They need the backing. They need people in their corner cheering them on. And typically those people are sorry that they're either the same as that person, maybe sick in a way, or they're just so drama addicted. And listen, anytime, especially an unhealed person, but anytime you're so addicted to like a creator or a show or something, whether it be reality TV, anything, you have to step back and say, okay, I love this. I'm going to allow time for it. But is it taken away from my reality? Am I doing this because there's things I don't want to deal with in my own life?
Yeah, that's so interesting. Oh, I wanted to talk about something else too and get your opinion. So, like this stuff with Quentin Simon. Um, Now, you guys, I know everybody can have different opinions. This does bring out the opinions, and I want to say very clearly that I love Cher and I like Queen Bee. I like both of these ladies. This is nothing about that. This is just an observation. They do get treated differently for doing the same thing, and that's kind of weird to me, and I see that a lot. It's like I don't know, like Cher's my friend, so it's hard to see her get bashed when I know deep down I know that she cares. I know she's passionate, and sometimes that can be hard. And but it's just, I don't know, it seems like she got ate alive for supporting Billy Joe, but other creators, it's like, take Queen out of it, just any other another creator does, and people have a different reaction, and I do wonder why that is.
Well,
I
there's
don't
definitely
know.
a double standard. It's gonna, number one, depend on, you know, what the popular crowd is saying or thinking at the time, and especially if emotions are high, people are gonna make decisions off of that, say things off of that. And some people are too prideful to ever go back and say, you know what, I was wrong 6 months ago. I made a wrong judgment about you. People are just too prideful. They're like, oh no,
Yeah.
I don't see them the same, but no, I'm just staying away from that. I mean, we just all we can come in so closed off. And you know, I mean, there's a lot of people I just don't sub to anymore, so I can't speak really on like the Cher or the Queen Bee thing. But I will say, I'll just make this statement about no one. There are a lot of people out there that are making themselves not look great right now. And I hope that some people hear this and reel it back in. And if you're covering a case, you better make sure you're talking about the victim in that case. Because if you're not, you need to do a hard inventory. Just make
Yeah,
sure
and I think a
you're right.
lot of creators, even I, could totally take your advice on that, because it's like, let's not get caught up in the drama and what all the adults are doing. Does it have an importance, and like, is it relevant? Of course, but like at the end of the day, it's about the baby. And I don't know. I just don't know. It's just weird though. It is kind of weird to see people get treated different for the same things, and not just in that case. There's a lot of other instances of that I see, and I don't know. It's
Oh,
just it's
absolutely. I mean, I could use myself. There's so many people I've never done a thing to, haven't had any dealings with really. Only always been cordial, but because of what they want to believe or what someone else says that they follow, they'll just, I've seen comments made about me from people that have never had a conversation with me ever. And I'm just
yeah.
like, whatever, whatever. We
Yeah.
don't have to jive, but you also don't know me, so don't mention
You're
me.
missing out. You're
Exactly. But it's like,
missing
no,
out.
don't talk about me. Don't mention me, and you'll never have to worry about stuff with me. And here's another thing I want to say. If you decide, like, hey, I'm just not jiving with this person, I just need to take a step back, or you say to them, hey, let's go our separate ways right now. We're just on different frequencies. We're vibing in different ways. That should be okay. That should not cause the other person or friend to immediately run to all the other friends and say, oh, you know what? The rumors that we always heard or whatever, I think they're true now. Like, that kind of stuff pisses me off. It's
Yeah.
underhanded. Say it to me. If you
Yes.
say it to me. But
Lucia, they are back at the landfill on my regular channel, like my true crime channel. I have a photo that was shared today and a statement from the police department. So they are going back to searching this week, and they're back there right now. Slim, that's a great point. Whether you agree with her or not, we're hearing from the family because of her style of platform.
agreed. I do agree with that. Thank you, Without Borders, and thank you. The comment above. I'm trying to look at chat some too, and yeah, it's tough. A lot of the creators do. I think just sometimes people just need to take a step back. Like, they won't even go on vacation or go out of town for a weekend without checking in, and it's just like, y'all, this is not real life on here.
Yep, absolutely. Now, don't get me wrong. I know sometimes I think about the people who are sick, and I actually seen a super chat on a community page of like someone who said, I'm spending my dying days with you. And so I guess some people like that I don't know. But there's so much more to life. Go outside and get fresh air, or, I don't know. Just there's other ways. There's other things that you're missing out on when you only are living virtually.
Right. Exactly.
Hey, Britt. Love you too, and thank you. I
You're not
wanted to.
connecting with the real world. You're connecting here socially and virtually, but that's
Oh,
not, it's not human touch. It's not sitting with a friend and looking in their eyes and having coffee. I'm not saying you can't have friends online. I have friends, obviously. But like, now that you and I have met in person, I'll say it again. Once you really experience someone's energy close up and the energy flows just like it did, your relationship changes so much.
it does. When you meet in person, it's crazy. Lucia, that sounds freaking delicious right there. Um, okay, I want to get another opinion. This is another community issue. And I know you've seen some of this because we were kind of talking about it a little bit. Have Michael Vaughn.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, they're digging up the backyard of this married couple out in Idaho.
Mm-hmm.
We do know that some information has been put out, and his mom has actually spoken out because there are creators who are reaching out to other people who are potential suspects. That actually, the person that JLR reached out to was who the initial reports that came out. That's who they said they were at his house. They were wrong. It was actually JLR who got it wrong.
I
But I
think
want to get your opinion on that.
I think they may have got it wrong because there's an alleged report out that they're allegedly RSOs.
Yes. Yep.
So I think maybe that's why people might have got the house wrong, because they were digging on that too. Well, I think that you have to have integrity if you're going to do any kind of journalism. And if you tell someone, if you give them your word, you're as good as your word. And for that reason, I don't care if someone's the first to report it. I will not support them if they don't have any integrity. I will not even, I just won't, you know.
Yeah. So allegedly, I think that they are suspects. And I'll tell you, she has a new charge, which is not reporting a death. So I don't know what is going on. And that I saw this morning. I think they are the suspects. Now, what's the confusion comes because the first people who reported are not the suspects, but they were reported to be, and that is who he reached out to. And then you have this mom who, now recordings came out of her a while back that did make people suspicious. I even didn't love what I heard of her with her daughter, her little baby, like disciplining her. It was pretty graphic. But then, now we know that she was just likely under immense stress from what was going on. But she's on YouTube begging people to look, cover the case, share his photo, share his story, but don't get in the way. Don't mess up the investigation. Don't you dare get in the way of getting justice for my baby.
Yeah.
And that was heartbreaking.
I was seeing some things last night, and yeah, I don't blame her. I mean, I'd be very upset if things had gotten to this point and we're seeing movement and, all of a sudden people are going to do what they do and get involved. And on that note, I just want to mention this. I want to bring up the Delphi case for 1 minute.
Yeah.
I want information as much as the next person. I have followed this case, researched it, watched everything I can get my hands on for the past 5 years. So I want it as much as everyone else, but we do not have a right to that info yet. If that puts the case in jeopardy, we don't have a right to that as the public yet. That is law enforcement's decision to make. And people are getting angry and we need more. Yes, we do at the right time, but they have worked so hard on this. They are not going to do one thing to mess this case up at this point. So I commend all of them, Doug Carter, whoever made the decision to keep it close to the vest. I commend them. I think it's the best thing they can do right now.
I do too. And you know what, Jen, if I'm not mistaken, at least initially when they did this press conference right when Richard Allen was arrested, they only put a hold on it for 30 days. It's not like you're never going to see this. Like
Exactly.
We're all going to get it. It's been 5 years. Let's not ruin it in the last, little bits by rushing and allegedly, are there any boots on the ground at the place they're digging in Fruitland? There is, not from YouTube, but there is a local reporter there by the name of Alexandria Duggan, and you can find her on Twitter, and she is sharing updates like as they go and also talking to the police chief and stuff.
That's good. I'm glad that there's someone like that's a real journalist out there with, again, some journalistic integrity that's just covering what's going on and the facts of the case. I think a lot of times in the very beginning, when a lot of speculation comes out and people are going nuts, it's dangerous for people. It's dangerous. Look at all the suspects that have been named in cases in the past. And, it's come out, we're like, wow, this person, their lives were basically ruined.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's crazy. Even a lot of people were suspicious of the dad and Michael Vaughn's. My chat yesterday was full of people saying, I feel so bad for my suspicion on him. Hang on just 1 sec. I got to yell something at my dad. I'm going to mute for 1 sec.
No worries. But yeah, you guys are weighing in the chat. What are your thoughts on this type thing? Do you think they're making the right decisions? Yes, Jen Lou.
What? That's what? In what case? Michael Vaughn?
No, the Delphi case. The Delphi case.
He recused himself because of YouTubers?
Well, I don't know that it's just YouTube, but he basically said that, I don't feel safe. My staff doesn't feel safe because people are already getting threats.
What did you ask, Woofy? What, the wish list at the top? It won't let you click? And thank you guys for even looking at that. And I appreciate that so much. You guys, I was torn if I should share it or not. I'll be honest, during this time, we have Bentley's birthday, Trenton's birthday, and Christmas, all within, Trenton's birthday is the 28th of December. And so, like, I get really stressed and I didn't know how we were going to do it, but I think we're going to be good no matter what. So, but then I thought, well, I'm still going to share it. Just, I don't want people to feel like they have to do it. Bentley's going to be fine no matter what. If somebody wants to buy something for him, which a lot of people have sent him other things in the past, I appreciate it so much. It will mean the world to him. It will mean the world to me. It'll make, it'll just be awesome. But please don't feel like, I don't know. I just felt so bad. Like I was really torn inside. So that's why I shared it over here and not on my true crime channel. Because like there's a lot, there's just a lot of grifters and stuff, and I don't ever want to be like that. I don't ever want you guys to think, oh my God, like she doesn't have any birthday presents for her baby, we got to do this, like, or something like that, what I mean?
And you've explained it well. Don't feel any weirdness or guilt about that. This is your Real Talk channel. It's not like you're covering a crime and dropping your link. So Slim said his family's Facebook was on YouTube. That is what I heard also. I wasn't positive, like I didn't see a video, but that is what I heard, is that someone had even made a video, about here's the judge and his family, here's RA and his family. And it's just like, wow, no one can have any privacy at all related to these cases.
I know. It's like, what if one of them, like, when you think of that, I always wonder, what if it happened in your life to somebody you loved?
Absolutely.
And what if everybody on YouTube was going through your Google text messages and every search you ever made about all the crazy stuff in the universe? And, I think about that. I'm like,
thank God there was no Facebook when I was in high school. Good Lord.
I know. Yes, I completely agree. Let me see. I'm going to pin Woofy's comment. Thank you guys, by the way, Tia and Jen and Bieber and Brittany and all of you guys and Cotton Candy. I just thank you guys. Let's see. Because I don't think the link was working, so I was going to pin the one that Woofy saved, maybe, if I can.
Yeah, the new judge is a lady, and who knows, we might get some cameras in the court.
Well, I get really annoyed when they won't let us see in there. I'm sorry, I really do. That's like with the Chad Daybell and Lori Vallow. Like, we've been watching all these hearings. You didn't worry about the case, and now it's time for trial, and we can't watch.
Right. Yeah, it's tough. And I know sometimes they do it for specific reasons. On that note, in my opinion, the reason they've been moving him is I think they're trying to keep him safe from himself. I think they want him somewhere where he doesn't really have access to a lot. That's my opinion only, but I believe he holds some info, and I think he might know that's the end of the line for him, possibly. This is allegedly, in my opinion, but I'm just telling you. I want to get
wondering
way before, anything crazy happens.
Let me see. It worked. It just took it. Oh, okay. So I can leave that there then. Okay. So the last thing I wanted to talk about, and I think you saw some of this, I know that there was and then we can talk about anything else, of course, but I know there was a live stream last night from Natasha that was basically about, bringing a community together. Well, and I got to say, there's one thing I got to agree with. If everyone in the community is not on board, that the people that go real life, that is not accepted, it will never work. But then again, you have the viewers who want to watch the drama. Doesn't matter if you've went real life. You know what I mean? So I don't know. So her whole goal, I guess, was to get creators from all over to come together. And I don't think many people went over there. And at this point, I don't know if that would be the most perfect place for something like that. However, I do agree that everybody has to kind of say, we won't stand for that. What are your thoughts?
I didn't even know she had a channel. And haven't, subscribed or watched in a long time, but usually here when she has a channel, because people are usually posting things about it. But I got sent a clip. I haven't gone to watch, but it was like part of what Lynn said. And I like Lynn. I think Lynn's doing a great job with her Checkmate Humanity channel. Again, that's my opinion. And so I heard a little bit of what she said, and then I heard a little bit of what someone else came on and said. And I think it's a little bit laughable, is what I think. I think if you are someone that has doxed, gone real life, lied on, been a complete ass to people, I don't think you get to come up and ask for anything. That's what I think.
And having panels, like, it's just, yes, that's kind of the same thing as like the place where it happened. There's been a lot of people very hurt by over there. You know what I mean? Let's not forget that. And I'm just saying, so it makes it hard. And I'm with you. I agree. I think, look here, as far as that person, as far as she goes, I'm gonna be really nice about this, because there is one specific person over there who I love a lot, you know, and there's a couple people I really like and respect. However, when you are going around, well, let me just say this: don't ever, ever fuck with my friends again. None of them, including doxing you, Jen, which has always had a problem with the shit with Woofy, all of it. All I can say is, I promise you that will be a decision that is very, very much regretted. Don't fucking do it, because I'm done with that. I've been happy to see things have stopped, so I'm going to leave it there. Like I said, uh, I love someone over there very much. However, the things that happen, I cannot. I was pushed to my limit with that, and I tried really hard to just disagree privately till it got to a point where I could not. Like when the stuff happened with you, that was a big thing. Like, I messaged and I was like, dude, why are you putting out her full name? Why do that? What does that get you? Like, doing that to somebody, I don't understand, like, how that.
Coming after me is what it does. It gets people coming after me. It's all a narcissist tactic. It's all about, if I can shame this person in any way, get over here with my little buddies and laugh about. I'm sorry, but again, when you're doing that and some and every live, you're not an investigative channel. You're not bringing info that's doing anyone any good. But like I said, I mean, I don't have anything to hide. I've put out there what I did, just because I associated with people or a person that might have worked with a channel or been a part of. Well, they were a part of that channel. I don't know who they are for sure.
Oh,
but
yes.
my suspicions. But it's like I would say in a minute, if I was part of this or part of that. Yes, I talked to a lot of people. I come from like a couple years ago, guys. I've been around here for a while, so I do know people from 2 years ago that were out here on these channels. So yeah, I might be privy to some info. It doesn't mean I'm part of that channel. And I would say so if I was. I'd have no problem saying so.
Well, I also, like, I saw your post, and like, and I saw another post too, and I mean, just being honest, I do, truth teller, I like her, I have no issues with her. I didn't really understand what was being said there, like, and then I saw your post, and that even confused me a little more, to be honest. So I don't really, like, I know that you openly said you did the channel, not your girlfriend. Then you did like you apologized to anyone you made videos about, you kind of, and
yeah,
then
I actually reached out to those people privately. The only people I ever had gathered any clips on were Natasha and TT, and I reached out to them personally. And
oh, okay. I
yeah,
didn't know.
that was last year. I mean, that's been a while too. I think it was last year. I don't know. It might have been the beginning of this year, but
Now, all I remember from that channel was like not like harmful videos, like not like body shame, like nothing, like,
no,
right? It was
I
just,
never even allow anything like that. Like we had all
yeah,
kinds of stuff submitted. I still have, tons of mod chat of TTs that I never released and never would. Never
right.
would. The person that brought those things was like, this is, I want this to be out. And we, the people I worked with on my Not Your Girlfriend channel, debated and debated. And so, I mean, if I had that, why would I not have released that on DTOS? It's a much bigger channel, much bigger platform, but it came to Not Your Girlfriend. So, oh, truth teller, I'm not confused about anything.
Yeah, no, it was me. I just didn't know what happened. You know what I mean? I didn't know what the problem was. And like I said, I love Jen. I really like TT too. I don't want y'all fighting or nothing, but yeah, we were just a little bit.
To fight. I refuse. There's nothing to fight over. Like I said, I've already apologized for the part I was involved in, and I'm done with it. I have nothing else to say about it.
Well, you
Things
know, I
things were fine
remember.
with her and I until I cut ties with someone recently. That's the flip right there.
Well, see, I know that with I remember you speaking out against like the people that were coming at her and stuff like that a few months ago.
Well,
Remember?
that was way earlier this year, and yeah, I just spoke up on my own. I'm going to say acquaintance platform because I felt it was wrong. People were talking about it like it was going to be justified. And I just said, no, no, you can't justify this. This is someone's child, period. So
Right.
that's all I've ever spoken about it. But again, if I don't know what the issue is, I don't care. If she wants to talk about it, she can come to me and talk about it. Other than that, I don't think about it.
Apparently there's an issue with my post. Maybe I need to make another one to break it down step by step. I thought it was very clear. Honestly, I'd have to read it again. There's no issue. I'm just saying I didn't know like what had went on between you guys. I didn't know there was a problem. It really wasn't even a topic we were going to talk about up here. It just kind of came up in conversation. I think like I wish that you guys
I don't have an issue with your post. I posted on my own platform and said what I had to say, and that's where I stand with it.
TT, I just want to say like I know that I think that you guys there's no reason for y'all to have issues. I do believe that. I know you're a great person, Jen.
Issues are people, not issues
between you guys. Yeah, and you guys don't let that, because I was told I need to come listen, so here I am. No, yeah, just rewind a little bit. We were just talking about the community, and honestly, I would give you a link so y'all could chat if you wanted to. It's nothing. I just said the whole DTOS got brought up.
Platform. I've never had an issue publicly with her. I don't know if it's a personal thing. I don't know, but no, I would not do that. If we're going to work something out, we'll do that privately.
Okay, well, yeah, that's fine then. But yeah, there was all I said, it was me. And I just said, because DTOS got brought up, and I said, I saw your post. And then I said, I saw TT's too. And I really didn't know. That kind of, for me, I was a little confused, and it came out of nowhere. Wolfie said she was confused too. But yeah, nobody said anything like that. You can rewind and listen. I'm at the point where I don't want problems. I want us to get along, at least if we can, where we can.
I know. I do my thing. I move along. Again, if someone has issue with them, they need to bring that to me if it needs to be discussed, because I've already put all of my apologies out for what I did. I'm no longer doing those things. I'll publicly state here that I was not a part of the Scammers channel or DTOS or what's the other one before that, People's Social Media. I mean, there's several, because I communicated with people closely and could probably get a video posted, and certain other people did that.
Oh, yes, okay.
That's where some of that comes from.
Okay.
But again, it's like people trying to put square pegs into round holes. I don't have anything else that's hidden, again, it's people between us, not issues.
Well, I think what you were doing okay, let me ask you, like Incognito Gypsy, or no, I mean, Not Your Girlfriend was basically going to be like like an awareness platform, right? Is that what it was?
Started at exactly the same time DTOS did.
Okay. Tiffany, this is not a drama channel. It's basically just where we hang out and chat about everything.
Yeah. This is not a true crime channel.
There's too much drama on YouTube. I typically don't really get into it, but if I have something I feel like I need to say, or we just talking about, we were kind of talking about how cases get ruined from YouTube, how people need to stop going so hard at each other. People need to stop go in real life, the doxing, just that kind of stuff. But yeah.
I made the point that it's a bunch of unhealed people all doing the same things to each other. You don't see it maybe because you're wrapped up in the middle of it, but when you're sitting on the outside of it, everything that you put out against another person and they respond, you guys just, it's like a volley and we're all watching this volley back and forth.
You know, I see a lot of people too that like talk about their friends behind their back.
Yep. Those
I
aren't
hate,
friends.
I hate that so much. It's like
Information
you
ex-
literally talk about every friend you got behind their back. What are you doing?
Yep. That's again, I think those are information exchange relationships. And when they run their course, they're done and they'll talk about these people immediately. Both
And
sides.
I'm sorry. I'm really sorry if that's for both of you guys. I did not want anything to get started there at all. That was just, I really didn't. I just want, and we'll keep going. I just want to say that
No,
I
I
just,
appreciate you. You're my one of my very best friends, and I don't have a problem with her. I don't know her to have a problem with her. I don't know her
okay.
personally, so please know it's not bothering me. But
Okay, good.
again, when it's people between you, and then it's like, commit. Well, I was told I need to get over. I mean, it's the people. The person that
Yeah.
tells you that might be the issue.
Man, that happens all the time too. You literally can watch, like, say you got two people going live about each other, and maybe they're live at the same time. You can sit back and look at the chats. You guys watch and see. Don't comment at all, just watch. And you will watch people go from chat to chat. Like, they'll carry stories that are not true. They'll say, they just said this and this and this when it was not said like that. I mean, it's,
It's a
it's,
buildup of hate. It's a slow, gradual buildup. It's like a melting pot almost that's going to explode. But it's crazy though. I mean, I don't know how some people, I'm like, is that really how you want to represent yourself? Being up here spewing all this hatred and cursing people out all the time, calling them horrible, degrading names. I'm just like, is that the footprint you want to leave? Is that the mark you want to leave here?
Well, I see a lot of people, and I've had people come at me doing this, that they will go at people like maybe standing up for someone else, and they don't even have the truth or the real story, but they're trying to do something like, I guess, noble or good. You know what I mean? By standing
Right.
up for someone, but the person lied to them and nothing happened how it was, and now you're just inserting yourself and tearing another person down for no reason.
Yeah, it's again, it's crazy. And if we all just like would step back and say, okay, let me just reach out to this person individually. But
Yeah.
again, everybody's like, oh, I've got these messages. Let me put this out, and I've got that. Guys, I did that on a clip channel. Well, not messages, but until it came to those the mod chat. But I was in that kind of thing, and I just when I dug deep with my doctor and started this certain therapy again, I was like, I can't do those things and heal. I cannot be a part of that and heal. Now, I was not judging the people working with me. I said, please step back, take a break. If you're going to put out more content, okay, but at least take a break and give this all a rest, and let's just all examine ourselves. So,
Yeah.
doing that kind of stuff, you can't be out here like, tearing someone else down. You just can't. So,
I don't want to tear people down. Like, even like with Kim and Crafton, I believe a lot of the reason they came at me is because they believed their friend who lied to him. And you won't see me turn around and lie on them or try to attack them or do any of that. I just wish that they would take a step back, and anybody else, and just look at the situation and look like they were literally just talking on that same panel where they were wearing my shirt. They were talking about, hey, we don't like you because of so and so, but now we're not friends with them, and they were lying to us all along, supposedly.
yeah.
And I'm like, hello, you're sitting there. That's the exact situation. You came at me so hard about and spread a lot of rumors and completely defamed me
Mhm.
over lies because you were told something. And I know you want to believe your friend. I know you do. But I'm sorry to tell you, they are not being truthful with you. You know what I mean? It's like, just take a step back
Absolutely.
and look.
And in general, I'm not speaking about them. I'm saying in general, when you are already upset with someone and then someone gives you more information, it's like it builds you up even more. You want to believe the negative about someone you're trying not to like. So,
Yeah.
that just gives you more like firepower and that kind of stuff. But, it's just, everybody just needs to take a step back. And what I want to do here again is I want to bring peace to people that are hurting. I don't want to see anyone hurt, further traumatized. And that's why I unsubscribe from anyone that like does that and goes back and forth. It's hurtful for me to watch. I don't like seeing it.
Yeah.
And getting back to the whole TT thing, it hurt me in my heart. Like I was crying tears when I was hearing what was being said. That is why I spoke up and intervened, because it broke my damn heart.
Yeah.
And I just took whatever she had done or said on her channel in the past, I took every bit of that and put it aside and said, this is a mother. That is what we have to look at. And that's what I'm imploring everyone to do. Step back.
Absolutely.
And look at people exactly where they are.
You got it. I got to say, like, some of the things that I have seen said and done to her over that are fucking horrific. I don't know how you can do that.
Awful.
How are you doing?
Using this. No one should be using this against her.
Mm-mm.
No one should be using anything that's hurting you. No one should be talking about NC's kids or
right.
I mean, no one should be doing any of this stuff. Granny, anybody, no one should be doing it. But people are doing it. And just because it's done to you, you do it back. I'm sorry. You're jumping right in that category with them. It's not fair. It's awful. But do not lower yourself to that standard.
Yep. And I don't know. I don't want to be like that. Even if someone like, I never want to be like that. And I wish that I want to, like, this is perfect. Actually, Crazy Mama was talking about people need to be leaders and not followers, and like not just listen to someone else's opinion of someone, or, you know, look, think for yourself, investigate things for yourself, look for the truth yourself. Don't just believe it, even if it's your best friend, because your best friend could have wonderful intentions, but just not believe the truth or not know the truth. Just always look at things yourself. And I try to tell my kids that too, because Bentley really is at the age where he's wanting to do everything his brother does, everything. Ask him, what do you want from McDonald's? I'll have whatever Trenton has. What do you want to drink? What's Trenton having? Dude, that's what he does.
Well, and it's like, just speak up if you disagree. It is okay to disagree with someone. If you are shunned because you disagree with a creator, and trust me, I've been there. A lot of us came from the same camp. But if you disagree and you're told to get out, then don't go back. It's not your place. If you have to keep your opinions to yourself and your mouth shut all the time, that's not your place.
Yep. I don't know. It's like, when did people start thinking that's what you should do? I get it. Like, it's cool to be vocal. It's cool to be a strong woman who's like voices your opinion and stuff. But also, then again, sometimes it's not the place and time. Sometimes it's just not right to do. Some things, like we talked about earlier, not everything is about you.
Well, everyone gets passionate and gets in their feelings sometimes. But I'm sorry, if you're even once a week coming on here cussing someone and just, saying defamatory things, yeah, again, I ain't watching you.
Well, you know what? Then here I am doing some of the stuff that I don't like. And that's like where self-awareness comes in. Some people don't have it. But
Absolutely.
it's like.
But again, this is not something you do every day. You're here on your channel, voicing your opinion about the things you've seen lately and what's going on. We're not cussing anyone. You're not flat out just calling someone out. But honest to God, like, it's okay. We are human and we get to have opinions too.
Well, also, I'm not better than anybody. I don't have the moral high ground. Like, I try to live my life day to day now, the last 5, 6, 7 years, to be very proud of myself and do the right thing and be able to go to bed at night and say, like, I'm proud of myself, and one day my kids might be proud of me too, that kind of thing. I never want to do what my mama or my kids would look at and be like ashamed of or not proud of.
Absolutely. Yeah. I feel the same way.
Yeah. And I don't know. But then again, it's like, so me sitting up here, I can't stand watching people get on their channel and like tell everybody else how to act. But yeah, here I am doing that. So y'all just take it with a grain of salt and don't listen to me if you don't want to.
We're just having a good discussion. But, I mean, I my grown kids, I would be ashamed for them to come on my channel and hear me calling someone the C word or just going after somebody cussing them out. Like, I would be ashamed to have that kind of content. I'd never want my mother or my sisters to see something like that. And listen, I've had that. I've had the whole comment, people, well, you're so calm and you're, more polished. I'm not, y'all. I'm just an old hippie. Like, I am not. Ask Alex. I'm as plain Jane as they come, and I love to just have fun like everyone else. But I'm not gonna. I will stand up for myself. I would, like I said, I'll come out swinging at some point, and you're
You
gonna.
ain't gonna be a pushover.
Yeah.
Oh, me either. And I think a lot of people expected that. I stepped back really quiet with this stuff with Natasha for a couple reasons. One, I didn't want the drama. Number two, it's different when it's your personal life, when
Yes,
it's your relationships, when it's your what you like, that kind of thing. That is very different. And it's just, so I was quiet, and I think for one, it gave people the opportunity to like tell their own story and twist it. But it also made people think I was weak or I wouldn't snap back. Oh no, hell no! I've never had a problem defending myself. I I like, I'll jump on it immediately, especially in person. I used to be wild as hell. I'd fight with people all the time. I was crazy. But I'm not going to let nobody run over me or my friends.
mm,
However, I won't just immediately fight back because I don't want to play into it. So it takes like some balance, and also, anytime that you go to clap back at somebody or something like that, you have your audience. You are dragging them along emotional bullshit, and it's not right. And I don't like that.
yeah. I try not to do that. I mean, I feel like I only have a couple videos out there that are like that, but you're right. Sometimes you do just have to speak up for yourself. But
But yeah,
as far as like, doxing and community, again, karma. If you don't want to be doxed, don't dox someone else. If you don't want to be lied about, don't lie on other people.
yep, absolutely. And karma is so very real. And it might take time. You might not think it, but it will come back to you. It does. What you put out in this world is what you get back. And I tell Bentley that all the time. Please put good out into this universe so you will get it back, because when you're putting nastiness and negativity, believe me, it will come back to you.
Well, I hold a lot in the vault, and I don't ever want to get to that place again. But if I ever do decide to put any of that out, it'll be right on my Incognito Gypsy channel, or
I hold a lot in the bowl.
I promise you it will not be anywhere else. And I promise that on my life.
I got a little vault too. I got some things. Uh, I'm telling you, I don't think some certain people want to mess with me or the people I love too freaking much. But also, I will never put messages out on my channel or here, because if I have to do that to prove, I get why you did it, Jen. You were trying to take your power back, and I respect anybody's decision. People feel different than me, and I respect that because
Well,
they want to prove.
most of everything had been put out, but some things were left out. So I just wanted to set the record straight and say, no, this is all of it.
Yeah, to show the actual reality. I understand that completely. I'm at the point where I'm like, you know what? If I have to do that for you to believe me, then why are you here? Because
Exactly.
yeah, I've just seen so much nastiness with that. How do you befriend somebody, and you talk about their kids, their family, and then you get mad at them and you're blasting all their business, their kids, the
Exactly.
problems in their family. It's just gross.
And that's kind of, I was going in that direction earlier when I said, like, if you part ways with someone, then why all of a sudden, if someone says, like, I'm parting ways, why does all of a sudden everything that person ever said or did, like, why do you immediately turn your heart and boom, okay, well, everything they ever said or did, now I'm going to go blast it over here. Like, don't be that person. Don't do that. If you cared about them at all, don't do those kinds of things.
Yeah, I've
Like,
had
just
it done
walk
to me.
away and don't talk or don't be friends, but don't go trashing them somewhere else.
I trusted someone on here, talked about my kids, my family, my addiction, everything. And it was all put out. And anybody can say now, it's really funny because the story has been rewritten to where nothing's ever been put out. No one, no, it was all put out. And it was awful. That was absolutely awful to do to someone. I had the chat, all the chats were talking about calling CPS on me and stuff because I was very open with someone I know's mental, like their addiction issues, and like this person was around my kids, but not like I would never let that shit be around my kids. That was my problem with it. You know what I mean? But anyways, people jump to try to do shit like that to you. And it's like, if you don't call CPS on someone over YouTube, unless you see them neglecting their kids, you don't see what happens inside someone's home. And
I
besides, CPS can't even do, they're so overworked and underpaid and understaffed. They cannot do the jobs they need to do with the kids. That's why we keep all these cases. Each and every child has been in the system at some point or another.
Yeah, you're right. They're so overworked as it is, and that's just you're doing just a disservice to other children and families that need that service. Yeah, I do not agree at all on anything like that. Anything, anything considered going real life, I don't agree. And I've never come up here and said, this is this person's full name. This is where they live. Oh, let's go through their messages and twist every one of them and poke fun and that kind of, I mean, that's been done to me. That has been done to me.
Yep.
So
And twist them and make them mean what they didn't mean and stuff like that.
Right.
It did happen to you. I watched it and I'm so sorry. And Crazy Mama, thank you. That's really sweet and I appreciate that. I think it was like, it must have been all the craziness and hell I've went through in my life. I think I'm just at a point where I'm seasoned a little bit. And I know, like, number one, I know how valuable peace of mind is. I know how, like, that is so valuable to be able to live at the end of the day and just like relax and not have the stress and the worry and stuff. I had a really long life, years and years and years of living miserable. So now, in my recovery with my kids, I get to have a happy life. I don't have all these and I'm just not going to let this kind of stuff affect it. And I think that more people should think about that. Your peace of mind is so valuable. You can get on YouTube and clap back at somebody, but you better expect a clap back. And then you're going to have more stress after that. You go live, then they're going to go live. Then you go live, then they're going live. Then you have to deal with this all night. And then, no, thank you.
Yeah, agreed. I mean, it's too much. We have enough in our own lives to deal with, and we should be focusing more on our families and friends, that are around that we can show like that human touch love to. This should be a place for us to come and talk about true crime cases, which are helpful, talk about issues that we all suffer, which are helpful, not to talk about drag another person down. And there's just too much of it. But people are so comfortable because they have their cliques who are also as unhealthy as they are. No one wants to work on themselves. So it's easier to talk about the other people.
Yeah, way easier. And I think a lot of it also, like the negativity comes from the money aspect of like YouTube. Like, I swear, where money is involved, you will always find bullshit, lies, trickery. You know what I mean? In one way or another.
Yeah.
I'm a Beatles kid. Let it be is my motto. Well, I'm so thankful for you because your channel offers, like, if you guys haven't been over there, it's just so relaxing, and it just gives you like another perspective. It gives you like what life, I don't know, it just like reminds you what life is about. Life is short. Don't waste your life like on here raging over stuff you can't change. I try to tell my kids too, and myself, because I have awful anxiety, like, stop stressing about the shit you cannot change, like, because you're making yourself miserable. And your channel always reminds me of that. It's just relaxing, so it's nice to have.
I appreciate that. That's the content I'm trying to bring, and mostly always have. I'm definitely starting to, get into or put more of my true crime, I guess, content out, starting to talk about that more. But that's all I want. It's just like, I bring in the content that I want to work on, and I don't want to see clip channels. I don't want to work on things like that. I just want to do what I'm doing. So really, anytime I'm, out on anybody's platform, we're talking about stuff like this, my disclaimer is like, if you don't like me, okay, that's okay. Just leave me alone though.
Yeah.
You don't have to speak about me anymore. The things that happened, that's been over a year ago. And I don't do that content anymore. So let it go.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't know. I don't know enough about that situation, but like I know that you've apologized and been so open about all of that and tried to move forward. So,
I'm just, and it's not like I was doing anything horrible, horrible. It just didn't make me feel good. I'm like, if I'm sitting here like trying to work on myself, I don't need to be focusing on someone else's faults. That's kind of the mindset I was in. And then
and
once
that's
I
true.
started to really heal, I was just like, I don't want to go back and do that. Everyone knows what those people are. And if they don't, they're going to figure it out soon enough. That's kind
So,
of my mindset.
did something happen? Like, this is so interesting because you guys, like, she essentially was running an awareness channel. It was more like a DTOS, like a clip channel, if I remember correctly.
Mhm.
But it's so interesting to see somebody go from that to full epiphany. What did something happen that sparked that initial change?
Well, I mean, I knew I was a very unhealed person because I had never completely dealt with like my childhood trauma, my essay from childhood. I
Yeah.
had tried and done things through the years to work on that. But I think you just come to a point in your life where you're like, I'm sick of all of the drama. It is really time to just turn inward and focus on myself.
Yeah.
That and two, I want to help other people. And I knew I can't help others if I'm still completely unhealed. And I thought I'd done a lot of work, but I got into that intense therapy and oh my gosh, I was like, wow, I'm nowhere near, where I thought I was. And I don't know that I'll ever be completely healed from that in this lifetime. I don't know if it's possible to heal from something so traumatic.
Yeah.
But that is really it just came down to like maybe hitting a certain age, but I was just like, I don't want to be this person. I don't want to have this little bit of a vengeful attitude against people somewhere inside of me because I've had a shitty life.
Oh my God. I'm so sorry that that happened to you. And I don't know the exact story. I know some of it. I hope one day you'll share your story. I know that this is a good time for me to say the stuff with Jared and Adventures with Purpose, like sparked something inside of Gypsy, which she's wanted to do. She's told me forever, like her whole entire goal of being on YouTube, she wanted to help other people who had been through what she'd been through. But she started, she started a website. It's www.littlecousinseverywhere.com. And it's basically because she's a little cousin and she's been there and she wants to give a place to other people who have been there, who are little cousins, to go and to feel like they're just to have people to connect to and to help
Yeah,
understand.
group, like a group, a fellowship group where we can just talk. I want to gather resources from like every state so that it's just a place where people can come. And even if it's just to get a little bit of a quote, like an uplift that day, then I want it to have something there for folks. But
Yeah,
yes,
no,
so many people have suffered from this type thing. So why not? And like my biggest thing, my biggest soapbox right now is we have to normalize talking about the taboo subjects. Our children are never going to come to us if we keep, oh, come here, let's go over here and talk about this. No, no. Talk about it in front of the whole damn family.
yeah,
Get it out there and make it this thing that people can't look away from anymore. They can't not acknowledge their own illness if they're sick. Let's put it so in their face that they can't stand being the monster they are. That's the problem. We hide the ugliness for them. Let's don't hide it anymore. Let's
no,
put a name and put it out there.
absolutely. Well, let me ask you then. How do you feel about the coverage of it? Do you feel like there's a point where the victims could be exploited? And this is the same with Don Wells and the coverage of his sisters. And a lot of creators that had problems with that because they did not want those women to later regret it and realize they've put themselves out there for so many people. But kind of what do you think about that since you've been
Well, I
through?
mean, I definitely think, everybody's personal experience is going to lead them to a different place and at a different time. So, it's hard to say. I think it really depends on what people have been through and if they feel like, okay, I'm really supported and now's the time because I want to go do this. What we have to remember is afterwards, we can't just leave them, you know,
Yeah.
like we can't just leave them in the dust. Like, okay, thanks for opening up. Thanks for the content. We
Yes.
have
Thanks for the
to build,
story.
yes. And that's why I want to build more like a community where people can go and talk. And even if they're not in that group of people, they can still come and support if they want. But, I think it's risky. I think it's very risky for victims to go on anywhere and talk until a case is decided if that's the route they're going. I think it's pretty risky. But now if they're putting out awareness that people just need to know, then, kudos to them.
Right. See, Teresa from the channel Criminality is a friend of mine, and I remember we were both in the chat of Brittany. Brittany was live about it, and Teresa was saying, basically, I don't know how I feel about this, you guys. Like, I don't know how I feel about the coverage of this, or if it should be covered, because to me it feels wrong. I don't want them to be exploited. So, that really stood out to me, because for her to speak up like that, um, so I don't know. She's like, I think it needs to be covered. She's like, she wasn't talking about like initially, like what's happening the first few days. It's just, she doesn't want to see every YouTube channel turn into it every day for the next several weeks like they do. Like
Right.
Clemson. I mean, you see it. A case gets popular. Kylie Rodney, every freaking channel is live about that. What about all the other kids that go missing and get murdered? I mean, I just,
Exactly.
oh,
Well, I think
Jim.
it's your chat that I might have made the comment in the other day, but yeah, I said I would love to see, and no offense, like I'm fair skinned and, was white headed when I was little. So no offense, blue eyed, but I would love to see people showing up to yards that don't just have light skinned people inside. It'd be nice to
Yeah.
see people cover some other cultures, other people that are here. It's just funny to me too, though. If one big YouTuber or somebody like that is going to cover a case, why would you want to go there too? Why wouldn't you want to go somewhere else and bring awareness to something else? You know what I mean? It just don't make sense to me.
Well, that's something that bothers me so bad. I can't stand it. Seeing all the coverage just on like one case. So like that's why the other day I posted all those cases, and I'm going to do it again a couple times a week. And I'm
Yeah,
going to keep covering the cases that are not heard of, even if it doesn't get views or grow your channel. I'll cover all cases, the ones that are heard of too, but not just because they're popular.
right.
That bothers me. Hey, Tiff.
Same. For me, it's like just for me, like I might follow something, but if I get involved, it's like literally like my heart is pricked or spirit saying, "Hey, you need to look at this." But you
Hey,
know,
Melissa Jade.
I just do it that way. Hey, everybody coming in. Thanks for popping in.
Xavier Harrelson, yep. And that is so sad. And I know that's a case that means a lot to you, Bieber.
Yeah,
And
see,
don't get me wrong.
you never hear Xavier's name.
I know, never. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying covering these cases is wrong at all. I'm just saying it gets depressing when it's only what you see on every channel. It's like, oh my God, I don't know.
Yeah, it's a lot. I don't understand why. Like if I had a bigger channel and was just covering true crime, if I found out, unless you and I were like gonna, work on something together, collab or whatever. If you were like, okay, I'm going in this direction to cover this week, I think I would be like, okay, I'm going to go over here then and cover this. So we've got somebody in two different. You know what? I just don't understand. Well, I know the answer. I know what it comes down to. It's wherever the most popular, whatever's the most popular at that moment going on, that's where some people are just going to flock.
Mig, I'm so sorry.
McGizzy, maybe?
Oh shit, I can't say that.
Maybe McGizzy.
McGizzy,
You're so
McGizzy. There you go. there is a ton of indigenous women. I did a TikTok about that, because that's a whole, like, a while back. That's a whole thing there. There's so many that never get. I mean, I don't know. There's a huge problem. I don't know if they're targeted because people know that they're not being looked for as much.
It's that, and two, they're indigenous. I have indigenous roots. My grandmother was Cherokee Indian, and I'm telling you, especially, I hate to say this, but out west, I mean, it is unbelievable the amount of indigenous women that go missing.
Yes, I know. It's McGizzy Quay. I love that. Okay, thank you.
Cool, McGizzy Quay. I like it.
Well, I think we ran our mouth about a lot, and I appreciate you coming up here with me. I have to get the boys at 2:20.
I
But
always appreciate you. You're always a gracious host, and two, I think we always try to do this with grace, even if we bring up a specific person or subject. I never want to just like dog someone out, but y'all, we have to do better. We just have to do better.
yes, I completely
Yeah,
agree. And like I said, I don't want to be like up here preaching because I don't like that either. I don't want to go to someone's channel and then be like, you guys are all doing this is wrong, and do this better and do that. But then again, it's like you got to speak out when you're seeing stuff that just makes you crazy, like that shit with the LGBTQ. Don't you dare stand on moral high ground when you have stood behind someone telling me that I'm not in that community because they have gaydar and I'm not part of it. That's hypocrisy.
I
And
know
don't
better.
you dare.
I know better than that. I mean, that statement doesn't even make sense because I know who you are at your heart. But yeah, and same. I mean, if you are going to dox me and do 8.5 hour lives about me, karma, expect shit to come out. Expect people to come after you at some point. You
Yeah.
can't go through life treating people shitty whenever you want to, making fun of their life, the way they look, their lifestyle, stuff they entrusted you with. You're going to blast it on a platform. That shit is going to come back around, and it's going to
Oh,
come back
yes.
sevenfold.
And not only that, you don't even tell the truth. When you do, you twist
Mhm.
it all up to mean a bunch of shit it didn't mean.
Yeah,
And you
exactly.
act obnoxious as hell and making fun of people. And like, I just, no,
Well,
no,
I
no.
learned my lesson, but it's a very sad day when you do nothing but support someone, and because you pull away or pull back to do your own thing, you get blasted for no other reason than that. And that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. I am not the crook.
Well, and I'll be easy because, like I said, I have a lot of love for a couple people over there. And, I'm just going to
Of
end it at that,
course.
leave it
I
at
mean,
that.
I know a lot of people that, there's people, probably some people still left over there that I really enjoyed and liked. But, I don't sub some places because I don't agree with the nature of even the person. So I
Well,
just, like, I'm out.
one last question. Okay, like for instance, Natasha, you were part of her community and then like you left and became part of the awareness community. I actually was never part of her community, but I did become like a viewer of the awareness community because of what I went through. I kind of just like started watching every day after that. I watched all the time. I wanted to know what was going on. Now that has changed dramatically. I never watch. I didn't even like know that it was she was still going like she is. And I don't watch really the other one either, unless there is a specific reason or something. I'm just not typically watching. Do you still watch
I do
sometimes?
not. I don't. It's weird when I went through that, healing phase or the start of that, and kind of, said I'm not going to be a part of Nacho, and eventually they did like private everything, and I started unsubbing then, and I stayed sub to some folks because I liked them and wanted to support them. However, it's gotten to a point where they're now, I feel like, where NC was at one time, or they're just at a place where it's nothing but negative. And I can't do that. I can't support negative. So again, I unsub. I want to see people that are filling my feed with good, uplifting content. And if not, I want it to be about true crime or something like that. I don't
Yeah.
want to hear what so and so did 3 years ago. I don't want to know about their custody battle. I don't want to
Now,
know. I don't care. I don't want to know.
Now, I still watch some of the drama channels. I can't help it. I don't want to be in the drama, but sometimes I want to know what's going on, especially with
Right.
like this new movement of like the heels on the ground people and those drama channels and stuff. I've been a little bit watching those, but
Yeah, I can
you're right.
still get the info because enough of my friends like either see it or talk about it. And trust me, I get clips still like crazy. It's not, you know how people send you stuff.
Yes,
Oh
even
my
if you
gosh, did
don't
you
want it.
know this? Yeah.
Texas
I
Tiffany,
mean,
I've never
sometimes
seen.
I'll respond, oh yeah, whatever, you know. But yeah, I don't watch. I mean, I want to know what's going on out there, but I don't want to sit through a live and watch two people, you know, or someone bash someone and then 2 hours that person's going to go live. And what I'm hoping is that from this live here, that no one is going to be like, okay, well, they're done. Let me go ahead and go live now and give you my version. Or because we're not, I mean, I'm not here to say you're wrong and I'm right. I'm saying let's all get healthier. Let's all be healthier people so that we raise healthier people and that we encourage health among everyone
Yeah.
around us.
Well, I told you if you got like it's like you almost have to expect someone to reply, and that's even if you don't say anything. I hope like I know I have no problems with anybody. I do have an issue with the way I was treated by Red Lungs and Grandpa over there, and if they're gonna stand like so, I have spoken out about that, but I don't even really have a problem with them. Like I said, I truly believe they were just believing their friend,
Uh-huh.
and
Well,
yeah,
and that happens a lot. I mean, again, there are creators out here that, you know, will say something about me that's totally untrue based on messages that they saw before and things they were told before they ever met me.
yeah, yeah.
So, you
That's
know, what can I
unfortunate.
do? If someone doesn't give you the chance, like to get to know you, what can you do? You can't. You
You
just go,
can't. It's super unfortunate because don't ever judge people by what you hear about them. Judge people by what you see, you guys. And I know y'all know that, but just a little reminder.
that's a good point because honestly, on this note, one more thing before we go. I've heard a couple of times that, you know, a lot's going to be coming out. People are going to be getting subpoenaed or whatever. I would love to have my content compared to someone else's content. Please, please subpoena me, please. I'm serious. The whole Fuggle Nut, whoever father, whoever he is, and then Unmask also. I've never spoke to these people, and I've never been on MJ's posse to take anyone down. So, honest to God, I would love for someone to try to take me to court over this bullshit. I mean, I'm just like, please, please do it. I'll turn over my computer, phone, everything.
Yeah,
But
I know you. I've tried to say no, you have not, but that only has went so far. But it's just funny. You've got these connections with people you didn't even know. I mean, how does it feel to be besties with Vanessa from?
oh, listen, apparently we're thick as thieves, and I've never spoken to the woman, not through text message or horse driver. Like I haven't even flew a pigeon out to her. I don't know her. And I don't have anything against her, and I don't care to know her. She's not part of my life.
Yep, yep.
It's why I can't even understand or get involved when I hear these things about myself because I'm like, I don't even know what that means or who that is or how to talk to that person. Like, I don't know.
I've heard, I've heard so much shit about myself that I didn't know. It's unbelievable. It's
Right?
pretty
You
crazy.
write a novel pretty much. And I'm sure a lot of creators are that way. I bet a lot of creators
Uh-huh.
up and said, oh my gosh, did y'all hear this about me? I didn't know. Yeah. So if you're one of those and you've experienced that, don't do that to other people.
Yes, and remember that, like, and I need to remember that. And when you hear stuff about people, just remember how things have been twisted about yourself and how that's probably most likely, very possibly not the truth at all.
100%. 100%. So, but yes, I always do appreciate you so much. And you're just a gracious creator. And as long as you stay like you are, I'll always support and stand on that because I love the way you do true crime.
Oh, thank you. And I appreciate you so much. I love you a ton. And I'm very thankful for you in my life. For real. Very,
And,
very much.
and
YouTube aside, just in general. So,
Absolutely. We definitely have grown a very nice friendship, and I know it's a sustainable one because of what it's based on. We have a great foundation. So
Yeah, we've been friends for a long time now. It's
we
been
have,
like a year.
it's been a little over a year actually.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy, crazy.
And
And I
we
love
just,
so many of you guys in chat. I'm sorry.
we love all y'all too, but it is a good friendship though, because it's how it should work. You meet, you talk some here and there, but you don't just jump in like, oh my God, I love this person so much. And we didn't. We never loved them. We never did all that. We slowly got to know each other over time.
Now
And
that's
now
something has
here's where we
happened. Yes, I've done that though. Have you ever done that? Like on YouTube?
Absolutely. Absolutely. It feels good to meet someone that you have something in common with. And, I've said it in many of my lives, you've got to give a person at least 90 days because you don't even see the full gamut of emotions a person houses. How do you know? How do they respond to conflict? You have no clue. You've only seen them up and happy. How are they
Yep.
when they're down? So
It's
how do you
crazy. And you think you know someone because like YouTube time is different and you do like get to know people quick, but then they turn around and they're totally different and it shocks you every time. Even like even if it's not a personal relationship, but say like parasocial relationship, you
yeah,
think you know this creator, then all of a sudden they do something and you're like, whoa, wait a minute. I
yeah,
don't know you at all. I
yeah.
love you, Bieber.
And we're aware of a lot of that kind of stuff, but we do not come out and put it out on our channel every day.
Yep, absolutely. And I love you too, Nate. I love all you guys down here. Woofy, Lynn,
Dang, big old love fest. Let's love
X
mommy.
amount,
No,
Danny B.
seriously, it's such a good group of people, and it's just always a good
South Borders. Yes, it is.
gets out. I feel like the energy's always good.
Me too. Okay, well, I'm gonna go get the kids from school at 2:20, and I need to do a true crime live as well. I have a couple topics I'm toying around in my head, but I'm gonna post something. So y'all probably see me over there a little bit later. But are you doing anything, Jen?
I don't know. I want to. I'm just going to play it by ear. I might see what you're doing and what time, and I may do a little bit of I want to do a grooming live soon, like what that looks like and that kind of thing, so that people recognize it more, or just are more aware of how young people are groomed into meeting folks outside their house. So that's something
I
I'm.
would love that because I don't, you hear that a lot, right? And you have an idea of how that looks maybe like in one circumstance, but I'm sure that can look very different. I would need to be educated on that myself.
Yeah, well, it'll be a good one. So if I do, it'll be about that, but it may be tomorrow. I feel like I need to prepare a little bit more. So we'll see. But thank you so much. I really appreciate everyone in chat today. Thank you for your support. And even if you didn't agree with everything we said, just know like I have no qualms with actually no one out there but one person, and that person's just lied a lot about me. But I'm open. I'm open. If there's something between us, reach out to me. Let's talk about it. Love you
Yes,
guys. I'm gonna
I
hop
love you, Jen. All right, beautiful. Thank you for everything. Talk to you later. And I'm the same, you guys. I love you all so much. Oh, Danny, you're so sweet. Thank you. I appreciate you guys. Oh, Irvin, hey, you're a wrench here and you wasn't here. No, that's okay. I don't even care. I don't care if my wrenches, you guys know, don't ever think you need to be there. If you can and you want to and you're in there, help. And if not, it is what it is. We all have lives and all kinds of other stuff going on. But anyways, I wanted to say if anybody, thank you, Irvin. If anybody had a problem with me or anything they needed to talk out as well, I'm open to anything, to hearing anything. Yeah, you're fired. No, no way. But anyways, yeah, I love you guys, and I hope you guys have a great day. I'll see you guys a little bit later. Melissa, do you have a live? And before you go, what time is it? And yeah, I love you all, and I'll see you later. Let's see. I'm picking up Bentley today. He wants to skip school tomorrow for his birthday, but I don't think I'm going to let that happen. Oh, Slim, thank you for hanging out and enjoy your afternoon. See you later, X amount. Bye, Jen. Thank you so much for being here. That was a good chat. Yes, ma'am. It's not till later on tonight. Okay. Sounds good. All right, you guys. I love you all. Have a great day, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.